wanted to go to the beach, but now it's too cold. I mean, you could, but I'd have to wear a hoodie to the beach.
I mean, even when you go up to, I'm sure if you go into Kansas, when I go to Mass, I am so cold and it's only 60s and my friends are like, are you okay? I'm like, it's so cold.
They're in shorts and a tank top.
You've already adapted. So cold.
They're in shorts and a tank top.
You've already adapted. Fur coat and everything.
You've already adapted to the South Florida weather.
I think my blood thinned out.
Yeah, it might have just thinned out. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, but I love it. I moved down here in 2009 and met my husband shortly after. And then we opened a restaurant. We had a restaurant for 4, 5, 6 years. I don't even remember now. I think 4 years, right? I think 4. But that was an interesting jump into the entrepreneurial journey. I never thought I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
I was going to say, you're an entrepreneur now at this point. So, that was probably the one asset, right? Coming over to real estate, you understood what it was like to have to work and what you get into. It was what,
the self-discipline.
Exactly. And I think that's what people forget. Because you mentioned earlier, being a mom on mom time, trying to find the time to take the test, all those things.
Oh, yeah.
Some people do that and they think, okay, I'll do real estate because it'll give me free time. You
have no free time.
No. I mean, as a business owner, and my father my father's a contractor, he owned his own business. My grandfather the same way. And you come from that line, you understand quickly that there really is no such thing as, that's the joke. It's I get to make my own hours, or I can do what I want when I want,
You can.
Yeah, you just don't get paid.
Exactly.
Right? You don't get paid.
You just got to do a whole bunch of other stuff first.
Right, exactly, Or, everybody's excited because there's only a 4-day work week. Well, for me, that just means I have to do 5 days of work and 4, all those old things. So you already got that mindset. And,
I did.
Yeah, so that's a big bonus because that's a shock to so many people when they come in. They don't realize how much work you're putting in, And I think that's something that's going to be at the forefront. There's a lot of stuff going on nationally with cases and things of that nature about what agents' roles are and what they do. So I think over the next couple of years, we're really going to see, agents showing and proving their value.
100%.
Yeah.
And, I like to look at things like, the silver lining. What is this? It's bringing a lot of bad press. It's, not making us look very good. And you got a lot of people out there that are like, oh, well, I can do that myself. I can totally, because they think all it is listing the home or just opening the door. And that's not what it is.
No, it's not even close. I mean, and I've said this before, we just talked about earlier, the list of things that you do as an agent in Florida compared to some other states, it's amazing how much work you actually have to do and how valuable your service are on both sides of the transaction. That's the real people, when the market's hot and you think you can just list a house on Facebook and a couple of friends could share it and go. It's when, all of a sudden you're also including a brand new car as part of the listing to get people into the door. I mean, and we were just there in this 10 to 12 years ago. People forget very quickly.
They do.
I can remember that happening. You would also you could also get a car with the house. I mean, anything to incentivize people to come in. And so your value is there, and then all the other legwork. We see it because we do a lot of some of that legwork, not all of it, but we do some little pieces here and there. But still, even in the states that we don't operate as just title, we notice that the agents are absolutely needed, necessary at every step of the way. There's so many things from to understanding the house itself, the systems in the house, the mechanicals of the house, interpreting and reading to you the inspection report if you have one. If you're doing condos, getting you through the process. Right. Good luck
understanding all the things that you need to go through when you're buying a condo, especially given everything that's going on in the condo market.
Exactly. So I think, we're in this time where everything's sort of restricting too, right? Money's going to get tighter because liquidity is down. Condos are going to be a little more strict in terms of trying to get in. The assessments are coming. The insurance is going to be spiking. There are things in the marketplace where you need an expert who's been through that and understands that. So I think this whole idea that somehow or another, it's going to phase out is just ridiculous, personally.
Yeah. I like it. So one of the things that our broker, Anthony, tells us in a lot of the trainings is it'd be like, why would you want to go and get a divorce from your spouse and use the same lawyer or try and do it yourself? Like you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're going to get screwed over and you're going to get hurt and it's going to be a mess and it's going to be miserable forever. Like, why would you want to do that? It's the same thing when you're buying a house.
It's like anything. We talk to people about this all the time. You could try to do it, but just like something, if my hot water tank goes in my house, I'm pretty sure I could watch a YouTube video and figure it out, right? Right. But at the same time, I'd like to have hot water sometime this
and
month.
Not flood your house.
Yeah, exactly. So I call the plumber, and the plumber, is licensed, is trained, has experience, shows up, knows what to do, fixes the problem, gets paid a fee for the service that they've done.
As they should.
Exactly as they should. And I now have water, and I didn't have to think about it other than make 2 phone calls and write a check.
It's like that peace of mind, knowing that you're taking care of your interests, your finances, all of that is taken care of.
100%.
Realtors are just the glue that goes to the lenders, to title, whatever. It doesn't matter. You guys are the glue.
We do thousands of transactions a year, and we know when we have good agents involved. Everyone likes to go on social media, right? Thanks for the smooth transaction. Smooth must have a very liberal definition in terms of social media.
Does. Everybody uses it.
Yeah, smooth is not. You know what I mean? Like, there's a peanut butter analogy in there somewhere, but most things are chunky as opposed to smooth.
Oh my God!
Yeah. But you know what? We get it done.
You do, but that's as agents when you're working. Like, we know if you have an agent who's maybe not as involved or not as good or doesn't train and all those things. What we have to do on our side, or what the clients ultimately have to go through, and the experience is just not the same. In terms of that.
Right.
Yeah. So, in terms of what you're doing, are you getting into listing side, buy side?
I'm really looking to get more into the listing side of things. Right now, obviously, we have a lot of buyers. The sellers are kind of sitting on their hands now. But so I am working with buyers, but I do want to get more into the listing side of things. I focus on East Fort Lauderdale. I've lived there for 12, 13 years.
So you know the neighborhood a little bit. Which is everything. Yeah, the knowledge is great.
Yes. Yeah. And there's a huge difference. Like I was just talking with somebody the other day, the difference of Fort Lauderdale, like Dixie and East.
Yeah, it is.
And then Dixie to like 441 and then west of 441. Like there's huge differences, even though it's a 15, 20, 45 minute drive.
No. It's like I met this agent. She's like, I'm always in Pompano Beach. And she's like, I never go into Las Olas. And I was thinking like, oh, wow, really?
It's like 20 minutes.
It's so crazy because it's like you just create your own little area and that's where you like to go. And you never go into these hot spots, which really on social media be like, you got to go to Las Olas. But really it's a touristy spot. Nobody goes there.
It's so funny. We live in East Fort Lauderdale, but like near Sunrise. And my kids go to school near like Broward Boulevard. But if I have to cross Broward and go like under the tunnels, I have to plan my whole day around it. Or if I have to go west of Dixie.
But it's
like, all right.
But it's important because traffic is insane. Traffic is insane. And it is such a spot where, again, coming in new, I'd get recommended to go to like a restaurant or a breakfast place. And then I talk to somebody I've known lived here for years and I'd say, I'm going to such and such. I go, what's that? They have no idea what these places are. And because there's just so many people, if it's on the other side of the street that you're not going to go turn around to go to, you don't even notice it.
Because one little turnaround could take you an extra 10 or 15 minutes. And you have no idea. Or you can't get back, because of all the waterways and everything.
The way I can equate it, it's kind of like if you're in Boston and you miss your exit, you're screwed. You miss your exit, you got like a 45-minute wait to get back to where you're going to be. Forget it. It's not happening. It's just like that here.
Oh man!
The more we're down here, the more we pick that up. In terms of the waterway system, or just the roadways themselves, and everybody drives crazy. Or forget about going down 95 at a certain time during the day, or just don't drive. Just don't drive. Just don't go.
Just cancel it.
So I'm just staying out here for a while. Yeah, I know.
It's probably the worst traffic.
We do the same thing when you pick office space. I mean, we're close to 95 here. We're right off of 95 in the Cypress area, but but that was a big thing because, you know, some people aren't going to come from another direction. Or they won't come out here from other areas. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that works.
Well, I think that's why it's important to work with an agent that understands the different areas.
Right.
You know, and so if you're looking to move into a specific area, you want to talk to an agent that knows the ins and the outs so that they can explain, okay, well, what's your lifestyle? Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Because, you know, do you have to take into consideration bridge closings? Like, do you have to, you know, are you obsessed with the boat parade? Do you want to be able to see the boat parade?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Things like that.
Yeah, because there's certain areas of town you don't have to go to. Like, you know, like if you want to stay away from A1A all you want, I mean, it's nice to see, but if you don't have to go down there during season to get to your place, then you can avoid that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
You have to get through there. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Well, I just want to say I appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us this afternoon. And
I appreciate it.
yeah. Looking forward to our continued partnership together and getting to know you more as we get to do some more work with you here. It's great.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.